Good day, y'all. Got my son with me, the young warrior, young Chaz the Great. Got that Righteous Nation apparel on. He got the shark on his representing that masculine energy. You see one more time. You see me. Got the bull on mine representing that masculine energy. You like a hoodie, you know, you can reach out to me on Righteous Nation on Instagram. You can DM me, you know. If you're in Baltimore, I can mail it to you or I can bring it to you. If you're from any other part of the world, I can mail it to you. Just give me your shipping address, information where to mail it to, you know. We also, it's about spreading this message, man. So the hoodie's going for $40, man, and I got the t-shirts as well. If you can't afford $40, you know, I can do a payment plan. We could work something out, $10 a week, if I trust you. But anyway, man, I was walking around enjoying this nature with my son, man, and we was talking. And then, you know, I caught a download from the cosmos, man. Something just struck in me as we was walking, and we got to talking, man. And I asked my son, like, do you know what the word fulfillment means? And he pretty much told me, you know, fulfillment, you know, means to be, you know, content, complete, satisfied, whole, you know. And I was, what you say?
I was saying at peace also.
Yep, and at peace, at ease, you know, which is, if the suffix ease, ease, but they, like I said in one of my previous videos, they reconfigured the language because this is not our native tongue. So in certain words, they made an S and a C sound similar. I got my reasons for why. But anyway, I don't want to jump off the topic. But like I was saying, fulfillment, you know, I was explaining to my son that in life, you know, the only true way to fully be whole and complete and at ease and to be fulfilled is to always have a mindset and a behavior that matches the mindset of living to your fullest potential at all times, and only participating in behaviors that add value to yourself, because that's what fulfills you, you know. Eating as healthy as you can eat, keeping your body as strong as you can keep it, reading the right information, you know, doing the different things that bring wholeness and completeness to you, which is essentially fulfilling yourself, you know. I know a lot of people on this planet walking around unfulfilled, and a lot of times people try to find fulfillment in the wrong ways, you know, by overspending, you know, overeating, over shopping, you know, using, you know, drugs, alcohol.
How you doing?
What's up, buddy? Different things that pretty much undermines you and unfulfills you. You know, in my journey of living, I realized, you know, the only things that truly completes us and sustains us and fulfill us is always living to our fullest potential, you know. You'll start to feel more and more whole and complete and fulfilled as you nurture that, you know what I'm saying? And there's no substitution for fulfillment outside of living to your fullest potential. Like, your spirit and your cells on a cellular level isn't going to allow you to feel whole and content until you fully living out to your fullest potential. And, you know, the only way to achieve that ease and that fulfillment is to live to your fullest potential. So that's the main thing I wanted to discuss. And I just wanted to, you know, warn the youth and warn the other people that ain't figured it out, that trying to find fulfillment in toxic ways, you know, and superficial or unnatural, undermining ways. So in order for the universe or the creator to grant your spirit of content and fulfillment, you gotta live to your fullest potential at all times, you know, and that's being your best self, you know. Like I said, eating the best you can eat, exercising, you know, speaking the best you can speak, you know, Never doing things that shortchange yourself or short yourself from your greatness. You know, a lot of people walking around unfulfilled and uninspired because they not living to their fullest potential. Or either they holding back their greatness because they're afraid of what somebody else might say. They're afraid of critique or judgment or somebody laughing. It's like, I just, as we was walking, we walking around the lake, man, me and my son, we out here out Columbia, man. We just got a good workout in, just got a good meal. And as we was walking, I was telling them, like, a lot of people not fulfilled in life because they too busy worrying about what somebody else might think or how somebody else might view them or judge them. And it's like they literally holding back their gifts, which is keeping them from feeling uneasy. Keeping them from feeling fulfilled. They walking around feeling uneasy because they know they a lot more greater than they display to be, because they're afraid of embarrassment, they're afraid of critique, they're afraid of what somebody else might say or think. So I was telling him, when God bestows something upon you and give you talents, display them, whether it's, music, dancing, writing, speech, articulating yourself. Don't never hold back your point of view or your perspective because, it's unique and it's one of one, just same way as your DNA. You the only one with that particular DNA. You the only one with that particular fingerprint, just like you the only one with that particular point of view. So, when something is on your heart and on your mind, speak it so that you can be at ease, so you can be whole, complete, and fulfilled. And don't never do anything that's going to undermine who you are, your value, your integrity, your morals, your principles, your scruples. You always want to do things that's going to enhance yourself and never do nothing that's going to destroy yourself, because essentially what that does is take away from your complete and your fulfillment, which is your true richness. You know what I'm saying? A drug or toxic foods or toxic company, anything that's decreasing or declining or taking away, is something that's going to take away from your fulfillment. So the mindset at all times has to be doing things to better yourself at all times, because that's the only way that you're going to feel whole and complete and at ease. So that's just what I wanted to, that's what we was talking about as we was walking. And so this video mainly for the youth, and it's also for, certain adults that might ain't quite figured that out, because a lot of times people chase fulfillment and think they're going to get fulfillment by doing things that's destructive instead of constructive. See a lot of people like take trips or overeat or overspend or overshop or go drink, smoke, do something that's they trying to fill a void. But like I said, the only way to truly fill those voids from within is to fully at all times, with all your might, live to your fullest potential. Live to your greatest great. Leave it all on the court. Like I was telling him, that's what Kobe, that was one of his mottos. Kobe said, I leave it all on the court. And that's on a basketball court. He go all out with his work ethic, with the things that he participated in, he giving it his all. So, that's the only true way to fully be at whole and content at all times. Because you got a lot of religious people, they might try to run to the Bible, they might try to run to the Quran, they might try to run to, different spiritual practices to find that sense of ease and fulfillment. And nothing's wrong with that if you're getting something out of it that's bringing clarity and strength to you. But outside of those different mediums, what I realized, to fully be whole and complete is to live to your fullest, greatest potential at all times. Fully give in to all of the things that's healthy, natural, and organic. Give in to the orange and not the orange soda. Give in to the things God made, the grapes and not the grape soda. Give in to the things that's come from the earth. Fully give in to all of the things that's going to amplify you, and never do the things that's going to destroy your health or destroy your looks or your physique or your energy or your stamina, because essentially what you're doing when you destroy your physical, you also destroying your mental, your emotional, your spiritual, your economics. You incompleting yourself and unfulfilling yourself. So to sum it all up, to fully be whole and complete at all times, you gotta live to your fullest potential, which is your healthiest, strongest, smartest self with how you talk and articulate yourself. You always want to make the most senses you can make. You don't never want to just be talking just to be talking, because that can incomplete you and unfulfill you too. And it takes time to heal from the ramifications and the destruction of toxic words. So to avoid the unnecessary pains and healing, always have your best speech. Always eat as healthy as you can eat. Always make sure you're doing something to strengthen and condition your body. Always do something. Read some valuable information. Always live to listen. You know, get something out of your day every day, because that's what makes you whole. That's what sustains you. That's what completes you. That's what gives you a sense of ease and fulfills you. You know, and I hope I got my point across real clear. That made sense to you, Chaz?
Yeah.
All right, man. What you say?
Said lots of stuff. Talking about fulfillment.
Yep. And yeah, so if you ain't know, now you know. The only true way to be whole and complete and fulfilled is to be your best self at all times, and don't never do nothing that's going to undermine or destroy yourself, because essentially what you're doing is taking away from your wholeness, your completeness, your density, and your fulfillment. So, signing off, man. Master Monk, Young Chaz the Great. Love.